Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss the question maximal rectangle. And this is very much similar to the question we discussed in our previous video, that is largest rectangle in histogram. Like मैं आपको इस और इस वाले क्वेश्चन में एक बहुत बेसिक डिफरेंस बताऊंगा and then the question is like pretty much clear. Let me explain how. See, आपका फर्स्ट देख लेते हैं कि ये क्वेश्चन में क्या है. We are given a rows or cross columns binary matrix filled with zeros and ones. We need to find a largest rectangle that is containing only ones. That is, आप बोल सकते हो कि वन वाले केस में वहां पे रेक्टेंगल है एंड जीरो वाले केस में वहां पे रेक्टेंगल नहीं है. दैट्स द क्वेश्चन. ओके, सो देखो क्या करने वाले हम. लेट्स फर्स्ट कॉपी दिस एंटायर रेक्टेंगल इन दिस वन 10100 10100 10111, all ones, and 10010. So let me explain you how we are going to see. It's very much similar to what we discussed in the previous video. We can say that this is the entire rectangle. Like ये पूरा एक rectangle form कर रहा है ना. ये एक rectangle है. This is the rectangle. This is the rectangle. This is the rectangle. ऐसा हो रहा है ना. All ones are rectangle and zeros are nothing, isn't it? So that's the case. So if I say you just to change the base, for example, पहले एक बार ये base रख लो. Keep this as the base. Keeping this as the base, tell me the largest area you get. So if I keep this as my base, what's the largest area I can get? The largest area I can get, like this is 1 and this is 1. The largest area I am getting is 1. Okay. Let's say I keep the base something over here. So what's the largest area I will get? The largest area I will get is like this rectangle, this complete one. If I just shade it once. So can I say that this complete rectangle? So what's the area I got? The largest area? Over here we have 2. See, over here we have 2 and over here we have 3. So the largest area I will get is 3. Okay. Let's keep this as the base. If we keep this as the base, so what's the largest area we can get? You can see that this is the largest area we can get, which is of 6. And the other one is like we can get this one, which is 5. But again, the 6 is greater than 5. And yeah, there is no other area. So yeah, we got 6. And if we keep this as our base, the largest area which we can get is, I am seeing that it is 4. So what's the largest of all? The largest of all is 6. So my answer will be 6. That's what we are going to do in this question. Let me draw this rectangles with each bases and you will get more clear with this. Like if the first base we are talking about is this, so what's the rectangles we have? We have something like this and something like this for the first base. For the second base, if I draw, I have 2 over here and 2, 1, 1. Like I have 2 over here, then 2 over here, and then 1, 1. This is the case. Okay. If I draw for the third one, for third base, I have something like this. I have 3 over here. Then I have 1. And then I have 2. Okay. And if I draw for the fourth one, the rectangles which I have is like this is of 4. And we have 1 of 3. Okay. This is of 2, 2, 2. This is 1. This is 3. This is 2, 2, 1, 1. And this is 1, 1. So yeah, ये तो like it is very much similar to the question we have done in the previous example, isn't it? Largest rectangle in histogram. This was the case, isn't it? So it is very much similar to that. Like no, I will not say similar. It is exactly the same. बस खाली यहाँ पे height 0 है. Instead of if there is no height, this means that the height is 0, isn't it? So heights यहाँ 0 है and nothing else. So if we divide this question in the bases, then the question is very clear. So can I say that if I can just find these rectangles, like ये rectangles find करना पड़ेगा आपको. For every base, you need to find out the rectangle. So if you can do that thing, then this is like a pretty straightforward question. The one we discussed in the previous example. So how can we construct these rectangles? Like how can I say that if I am at this base, then I have the structure something like this. If I am at this base, I have a structure something like this. How can I say this? Can you say that for every row we have a base? Like हर row एक base form कर रहा है ना? And for every row we have like the number of columns is equal to the number of heights we have. So I can construct a 2D vector or array which will see the number of rows and the number of columns, like rows and columns. Now see what I can do. For the first one, for the first base, the first row, there is no rectangles at the top, isn't it? So can I say that if the given array, if it is one, then we can say like if we name our like that 2D vector as something like v, then can we say that v of 0 of I is equals to 1 if height is 1, otherwise it is 0. That is pretty straightforward. Now if I come to the row number 1, so for row number 1, can I say that v of I of some particular j is equal to 1? Like if this height is 1, then only we will consider that. Like अगर ये वाला array का value 1 नहीं होता, for example, if this is 0, then we know that even if we have a rectangle something like this size at the top of this, we will not consider it because the base से जमीन से जुड़ा हुआ ही नहीं है ये वाला, है ना? ये 0 है, so we will not consider this rectangle. So if the array of like this particular I of j is 1, then we can say that v of I of j is nothing but 1 plus v of I minus 1 of j. Like for example, इस केस में ये वाला 1 था. If this is 1, so can we say that ऊपर जो height था, ऊपर कुछ भी height हो सकता है, it can be 0 also. ऊपर जो height था plus 1 यहाँ नीचे में height होगा. That is only ना. That is only we are doing. For example, यहाँ ऊपर में 0 था. So for this one, this is 1 plus above height, which is 0. So 1 plus 0, which is 1. वही हो गया. Now, if this is 0, so we will do nothing. We know that the height of this from this base will always be 0 because we have a 0 at the beginning only. So yeah, that's the case. So that's how we can construct that 2D vector. And once we are done with this, for every base, we can calculate our answer like we did in this part. For every base, we calculated our answer. For every base. How many bases will be there? The bases will be equal to number of rows, isn't it? So for every base, we can calculate our answer. And once we are done with this, we can say that maximum of all will be our final answer. So yeah, let's code it down. What we will do in this video is we will construct this 2D like vector, which I was talking about, which will tell me from this particular base what's the height. And we will simply copy down the code of the last example we did, the maximal rectangle, which was pretty much the largest rectangle, which was pretty much the same for a particular base, which will give me the final answer. Okay. First, let's construct that particular vector. So let's say the number of rows is number of rows is stored in M. It will be nothing but matrix dot size. And number of columns is stored in N, which is nothing but matrix of 0 dot size. Okay. So what we can do is we will construct a vector int v of size m comma vector int n. Initially all values are 0. I am keeping this as 0. So for the first row, what we can do, we can just traverse over the first row for all the columns for int I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. For all the columns, we can say that if matrix of 0 of I is equals 1, then we will say that v of 0 of I is equals to 1. Otherwise, it will remain 0 with which what we initialized. So we will not change that. Okay. Once we are done with this, what now we will do is we will traverse to now all the remaining rows. So for int I equals to 1, I less than m, I plus plus. And for columns, I am keeping j for int j equals to 0, j less than n, j plus plus, if matrix of I of j is equals 1. This means that, yeah, it will have some height. And what will be the height? We can say that v of I of j will be nothing but 1 plus v of I minus 1 and j. And if matrix of I of j is 0, then v of I of j will remain 0 with what we initialized. Once we find this, now we know that what will be our answer. Like initially, let's keeping our answer as int mean. We will travel to all the bases. For that, we will travel to all the rows. For int I equals to 0, I less than m, I plus plus. Now, what is this histogram? What is this histogram with each base? It is stored in v of I, isn't it? So we will say that answer equals to max of answer comma. We will make a function which will tell me the answer for this particular base. So that is stored in v of I. Like v of I is a vector which stores the rectangle's height for a particular base. Okay. So yeah, this is the case. After this, we will simply return our answer. Let's make this helper function. It's very much similar to what we did earlier. So int helper, we have a vector int ampersand height. Okay. So we will just simply copy down this entire code. Like it is exactly same. इसमें बेस फिक्स था और इस फंक्शन को हम लोग बेस फिक्स्ड करके दे रहे हैं. So yeah, it's same. Okay. So once we are done with this, we will be returning the answer. Let's try to run it down once. Initially, we can keep our answer as 0 because the matrix, all the elements can be 0. In that case, our answer will be 0 instead of int mean. So initially, I am keeping my answer as 0. Let's try to run it once. Okay, it gave me runtime error. Let's see why. Like matrix.size, vm vector int n comma 0. I'm traversing over all the columns and I am saying that matrix of 0 of I, if it's 1, then v of 0 of I is equals to 1. Okay. Okay, I did it 1. It will be I. Sorry for that. Okay, so v of 0 of I is 1. Okay, it's running fine. Let's try to submit it. It's working well. So I hope you all got the concept. It's very much similar to what we did in the last question. This last question में base fixed था, and in this question we needed to fix the base. So that's the only difference. Okay, so let's meet in the next video with the next question. Bye then. Thank you.